Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now May 6th of 2020, and ever since the release of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, a lot of fans around the world have been very intrigued about the future of the Star Wars franchise by Bob Iger and Bob Chapek, and exactly how they're really going to propel the fans throughout a new mythology of Star Wars in general. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, the thing about Disney Star Wars is that, of course, we've already covered the fact that Leslie Headland is, of course, developing a brand new Star Wars TV series that a lot of fans are against, which is going to be the show that's going to have tons of identity politics, real-world issues, and personal agendas thrown into the mix, which really is something that not any normal person really wants to see. All we want to see is a good story. Aside from that, though, a lot of great material is being developed by George Lucas, Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, Bob Iger, and Bob Chapek to really craft a brand new Star Wars universe that is going to be quite impressive to the Star Wars fans as we go throughout this decade. You know, we got The Mandalorian Season 2 and Season 3 in the works, we've got the Kenobi TV series, we got an Ahsoka Tano TV show, which I personally think is going to be quite interesting to say the least. And when we look ahead to the future here, a lot of retcons and major changes are going to be made to, of course, the prequels, originals, and the sequels, many of which are going to be both positive and negative to Star Wars fans out there. One in particular, however, that I believe is going to be quite interesting has to do with the character of Anakin Skywalker. That's really going to change our view, our perception, if you will, of Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith by George Lucas. Now, of course, one of the most valued characters in the Star Wars franchise is Anakin Skywalker, a character created by George from, of course, the prequel trilogy where the character was first mentioned in the original trilogy. Now, since Episode 9 dropped in theaters back in December of 2019, just last year, fans were very surprised of Anakin's absence in the film and only got a disembodied Force Ghost voice of Anakin Skywalker by Hayden Christensen speaking to Rey on Exegol. Now, how both Disney and Lucasfilm are, of course, hard at work on crafting a new Star Wars universe, and that both Bob Iger and Bob Chapek are involved in this by hiring new creatives and promoting others, like Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. Now, it's noted that one major retcon is being developed by Disney and Lucasfilm that would change how fans view Revenge of the Sith by George Lucas. It's explained that this retcon will be created by George Lucas as well, that is aimed to change how fans watch Episode 3 when Anakin Skywalker begins to turn to the dark side of the Force under Palpatine's manipulation. Now, it's explained that the one major retcon for Anakin Skywalker will include the fact that Anakin Skywalker saw a dark side vision of himself at the very moment when he was first kneeling before Palpatine on Coruscant, just after striking Mace Windu. The vision is set to appear before Anakin's eyes that will show him a Sith version of himself without the Darth Vader armor. This is set to be explained in a series of books and comics that will be shown visually to the fans, and is said to play a major role in realizing of what he is about to become. The vision of Anakin as a Sith, as Vader of course, with his own lightsaber by Palpatine is described to be initiated by Sidious once he tells Anakin, "You shall be known as Darth Vader." During this time, Anakin witnesses a dark side vision of himself in a very similar way to what happened with Rey and Dark Rey in the depths of the Death Star wreckage on Kef Bir in Episode 9. It's further explained that this retcon will be put out to the public sometime in early 2021, and that George John and Dave Filoni are working hard on this change to Episode 3. Now, the vision of Anakin as a Sith for Anakin when he is turning is set to show the fans exactly what Anakin was going to look like as a Sith, where he did not receive the Darth Vader armor from his injuries when fighting Obi-Wan Kenobi on Mustafar. Anakin is actually set to get a major retcon and redesign for this particular vision that will serve as a parallel of what happened to Rey in The Rise of Skywalker. This is the one major retcon that I personally really love because it plays a role as to why Anakin Skywalker feels so bad about what he is doing and why he's actually crying eventually on Mustafar when he, pretty much destroys the Separatists throughout his path. And that's the moment just before Padme Amidala arrives, along with Kenobi. So this retcon, like I say, how it plays a massive role as to what Anakin Skywalker is feeling and why he feels so regretful of what he is doing and why he has that sadness to him as he, you know, is pretty much very well aware, and it's very apparent to him of what's happening, but he knows what needs to be done. And he's in this position where he just has to do what he has to do to save Padme. That's the great thing about Episode 3, is that it's a very conflicting story for Anakin Skywalker. You can see how he's basically in this mental prison, right? He's stuck between two walls. You got Padme Amidala, and you got Palpatine's promise. And Anakin's just in the middle there. So, like I've said before in the past, guys, you know, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.